We okay? How are you?
I'm okay. Okay.
We are all right. We are all right, sir.
Hope you saw the document that I sent in the group.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So could you all have it on your computer open, because I'm going to share mine here. So in case mine is not visible, you can read from your side there.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so
Never gonna believe you. Number one. She's around that. Yeah.
sorry, I had gone off. Teacher Bernard, could you be having a minute? Hello, Teacher Bernard.
Yes.
Could you be having a minute?
Would I be having a what?
Do you have some time? You help me share that document that I shared in the group.
Maybe someone else is going to help you out. Let me communicate, but I'm out now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe let me check with the Edward. Could any of the members help me display that document on your screen so that I use your screen? Any member? Max? Max? Edwards? Okay. Check in the WhatsApp group. It is in the WhatsApp group. Edward, did you check? Edward? You're breaking.
So let me see.
Okay. Because every time I try sharing my screen, I jump off. I don't know why. Okay, so members, can you see on my screen now? Hello, members. Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so can you read my words? The words on my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So let's use it this way. So today we are talking about adjectives. So the other day we talked about adverbs. So could someone tell us what an adjective is according to the description here? Could you give an explanation to that? I wish to take the very minimum minute on this. A member, please. Any member? Okay. Yes, Paul. Paul, you're saying yes in the chat. Are you giving us what an adjective is or? Okay, maybe I read. So an adjective, here it is said that adjectives, these are words that describe the qualities or states of being of nouns. Anonymous, dog-like, silly, yellow, fun, fast. They can also describe the quantity of nouns, many, few, millions, 11. So in short, adjectives, these are words that modify nouns. They are parts of speech that help in modification nouns. What do I mean when I say modification? It means these are words that give more meaning to a noun. They add more meaning or they give more information about a noun. Let's say we have the noun boy. So this boy is okay. Someone understands when you say the word boy, but the word boy makes more sense when someone says a handsome boy, a slender boy, a black boy. So those black, handsome, slender, those are adjectives. And for starters, when you're describing about human beings, you don't use the word black or dark. We usually use the word chocolate. Chocolate. So human beings are chocolate. They ain't dark. Neither are they black. Can you hear me, members?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we go to how these adjectives operate. One of ways to how adjectives operate is they often come before a noun. So it means before you write the noun, you must write the adjective first, then go to the noun. If you remember very well, when we are talking about adverbs come after a verb, whereas adjectives come before a noun. Are you following? Members?
Yes, sir.
Are you following?
Yes.
Okay. Max Ivan says an adjective comes after a noun. No, an adjective comes before a noun. Let's say we have the noun boy. You can't say boy black. No. When you say boy black, that means there, in that case, the adjective has come after a noun. But rather, if the actual thing is an adjective comes before a noun. So before you write a noun, you first write an adjective, then add on a noun. You say a black, rather a chocolate boy, a slender boy, a beautiful woman. So adjectives come before a noun, not after. So now I go to, you can give me examples of adjectives plus a noun. Any example? Yes. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, teacher. Third slide. Okay. Thank you. So here on the screen, is the screen visible to you all?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here it is. They have given us an example as an example to back up how an adjective comes before a noun. One is a green car. The car is is the noun, and then the green.
But stop writing on the teacher's thing.
Green is the adjective. Then or a is an article. So for that case, the second is a dark sky. Sky is a noun. Dark is an adjective. Then we have an interesting story. The word interesting is an adjective. Then story is a noun. So I wish a member could give me a phrase having an adjective next followed by a noun. Please, maybe by show of hands, or some can put in the chat. Members? I'm waiting. Yes, Robin.
Kaemba is an interesting boy.
Interesting boy. Okay, thank you. So interesting. Next is the boy. Okay. Any other? I'm first dealing with the hands up, then I got the chat. Someone to raise their hand and give me an example. Okay, I cross to the chats. In the chat, Aquilina says a boring story. Yes, a boring adjective, then story noun. Elizabeth says a beautiful girl, correct. Paul says a tall man, correct. Queen Elizabeth, you say an ugly. I don't know. Did you complete that? Okay. Hope says Yaaka is a useful website. Useful, then website. Useful is an adjective, website noun. Ronnie says a big book, correct. Max Ivan says a brown boy, correct. Namaganda says an embarrassing story, correct. Mwanje Isaac says a tall boy, correct. MK says a big tree, correct. Sandra, a big tree. I don't know, did you copy each other? Pasco says a handsome boy. Then Elizabeth, an interesting story. Thank you. Those examples are correct. Maybe we go to the next slide. So I hope you have understood that an adjective always comes before the noun that it describes. Yeah. Okay, teacher, next slide. Next slide. Okay, so the other condition for an adjective to operate is, and sometimes an adjective comes after a verb. So like the adverbs, we said an adverb comes after the verb that it modifies. Then here comes in an adjective that modifies, that comes after a verb. For example, my car is green. The sky became dark. The story seemed interesting. So in the first sentence is a verb, especially in normal cases, it is an auxiliary verb or a helping verb, but in here, because there is no any other verb, so is qualifies to be a full verb. The second sentence, the sky became dark. So became comes from the word become, and it is a verb, so it is followed by dark. And this dark is not describing become, but rather it is giving more information about the sky. Then a story seemed interesting. So seemed is a verb, yes, but interesting is not describing the verb seemed, but rather describing the verb, the noun story. So in the chat, maybe you can put the answers. Could you give a sentence where an adjective is following a verb, like what we have on our screen in the chats? Next slide, teacher. Next slide. Okay, thank you. That one. The other condition to note before we go very far. Yes, Queen Elizabeth says, my book is big. Thank you. It is a correct sentence. But this is important to know that adjectives can also modify pronouns. So an adjective can modify a pronoun. And remember, what is a pronoun? Could someone give me an answer to that? What is a pronoun? What is a pronoun? In the chat, MK says, my shirt turned blue. Yes, blue describes the shirt, not the turning. Elizabeth says she became small. Yes. So, yes, Hope, your hand is up. Could you give me Hope?
I was giving the definition of a pronoun.
There's no
Yes.
problem. I muted it.
I think it's a word that modifies a noun.
A pronoun.
Yes, I think.
Okay, a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. A pronoun is a word that goes in place where the noun does not go. It replaces a noun in a sentence. For example, Peter is a good boy. So if you want to add more, another sentence to talk about Peter, you can't say again, Peter is a good boy, and you again say Peter is a short boy. No, you say Peter is a good boy, full stop. He is a short boy. So the he becomes a pronoun and it is replacing the noun Peter. So a pronoun most refers to the noun that has been already talked about in a sentence. That is helps in avoiding repetition in a sentence. Okay, so here we have an adjective that modifies a pronoun. An example is she is beautiful. So beautiful describes the she, and here the she replaces a person. For example, Hope is beautiful, and you can also say she is beautiful. The other is they were empty. So the empty adjective describes the they, and the they that is a pronoun. It can in normal senses it can be the students were rather the teens were empty. So the teen is being replaced here by a pronoun they. Then here the next sentence, I thought it seemed strange. So strange describes the I. So Emmanuel seemed it was Emmanuel seemed it was strange. So I is the pronoun. Then and final have those are not expensive. So those are not expensive. Those is a demonstrative pronoun, and so expensive describes gives more information about those. Those books are not expensive. So someone can say the books are not expensive, or another person can say those are not expensive. So to check in the chat, Max, I don't know. Okay. Sandra says my friend is sick. Sick is describing my friend. This is ambiguous. My friend, yes, my friend is sick. So my friend can be Peter. Peter is sick. Okay. My phone is spoiled. Yes, spoiled describing my, which is my phone as one phrase. Then a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. That is correct, Elizabeth. That one is fake. Ronnie, okay. Fake describes that is a demonstrative pronoun. I thought you had studied them, but the next lesson I will talk about pronouns, as if I taught pronouns. Okay, I'll go on. Next slide, teacher. Note that we can often use two or more adjectives together. So here using two or more adjectives, for example, we have, yes, Pascal says, my uncle is sick, okay. A beautiful young French lady. So here we have rather three adjectives. That is, could someone identify the three adjectives in this sentence? Someone to identify the three adjectives in the sentence. Someone? Okay, young. MK identifies young. That is correct. Any other?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. That is correct. Then the third. Beautiful, Elizabeth. That is correct. The third one. Okay. In this sentence, French is an adjective. Like you can have a Ugandan man. Yes, Elizabeth and Aquilina, they say French. Namaganda, French. That is correct. So French is an adjective. You have a Ugandan. So French refers these adjectives. Let's say Ugandan, Rwandese, Tanzanian, Kenyan, Somali, French, Briton. Those ones are referred to people coming from, or the citizens of those countries. So if someone from France is called a French, if a citizen of France is called a French, a citizen of Uganda is called a Ugandan, and a citizen of Kenya is called a Kenyan. So here we have three adjectives describing, giving more information about one person, that is a lady. And so from that case, we ahead there, we're going to talk about order of adjectives. When you're writing a sentence, there is an order you follow. So we have like opinion, material, so we'll talk about them. The next sentence in here, we have, it is black and white. So it is black and white. So you can't say these are two adjectives, black and white. They refer to color, yes, but you can't say it is white and black. That is wrong order. So you say it is black and white. Next. Teacher? Thank you. Adjective forms, the forms of adjectives. So we have here some adjectives have particular endings. For example, some adjectives end with A, B, L, O, Y, or I, B, L, O, E. For example, we have washable. That towel is washable. That hat is washable. That plate is washable, or that phone is washable in case it exists. Then we have credible. The information you're giving, is it credible? He gave credible information. So those two, they end in A, B, L, O, E, or I, B, L, O, E. So some words that end in A, in I, B, L, O, E, or A, B, L, O, E are adjectives. Then the second class is ISH, words that end in ISH or LOIKE, like. That is, we have an example of childish, and another example is childlike. So, okay, in here we also have the childhood. When you had HOOD, that one becomes a noun. So in here we have like and ISH. Okay, the other is FUL and LESS. For example, careful and careless, hopeful and hopeless, remorseful and remorseless. Those examples. OUS, for example, dangerous, harmonious, ambiguous, righteous. Those OUS, words that end in OUS, humorous. So those ones are also adjectives. We have Y, words that end in Y. Not all words that end in these syllables are adjectives. So the words that end in Y, for example, dirty, pretty. So these are also adjectives. So, however, it is a note here, very important. However, many adjectives have no obvious forms. So there are some adjectives that you cannot follow, you cannot trace their morphology, like how they are formed, but rather you see how they where they exist in a sentence, then you know this is an adjective. So the end product is an adjective should always describe a noun or a pronoun. Okay, next, teacher. In the chat, a young, beautiful, French. Okay, these ones I read them. Teacher, next. Okay, we have here comparative and superlative. So we have an adjective, then we go to its comparative form, then superlative form. So first go up a little bit. Up at the previous slide. On comparative and superlative. Okay, thank you. So most adjectives can be comparative or superlative. For example, big, bigger, biggest, good, better, best, beautiful, more beautiful, and most beautiful. Important, less important, least important. So in the chat, you can give examples of comparative and superlative adjective. You put the three. Let's say they like what you see: big, bigger, biggest. I will read as we go on. Please, you can text in the chat. Next slide, teacher. Okay, so we have examples of descriptive adjectives. Could someone read, please? Could someone read? In the chat, Hope says beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Yes. Okay, go on.
Descriptive adjectives: adorable,
You can read, it's okay.
Adventurous,
okay,
agreeable, alive, aloof, amused, hungry, annoying, anxious, clumsy, colorful, comfortable, concerning, condemned, confusing, cooperative, courageous, creepy. I don't know that word, the pronunciation. Envious, evil, exciting, expensive, exuberant, wide,
enthusiastic,
wild, witty, self-centered, short-haired, short-tempered, sure-footed, thick-skinned, thought-provoking, tight-fisted, well-known, well-read.
Okay, thank you, Hope. So in the chat, Paul says ugly, uglier, ugliest. Don't we have ugly, more ugly, most ugly? Okay, Ronnie says tall, taller, tallest. Thank you. So to go back a little bit, when you are dealing with comparative and superlative, when you're talking about one person, let's say Hope is beautiful. So the word beautiful remains in just as an adjective. But when you're talking about two girls, Hope and Elizabeth, it means you're going to say of the two, who is more beautiful than the other. So you're going to end up saying Hope is more beautiful than Elizabeth. Now, the third, that is comparative. When you're comparing two things, you compare two things, whether they are, which one is more beautiful than the other. Then when you go to superlative, it means you're dealing with three or more items that you are comparing. For example, we have Hope, we have Mary, and we have Elizabeth. So when you say, when you want to tell someone of the three, who is beautiful than all of them? You say, let's say Mary is the most beautiful of the three. Mary is the most beautiful girl in senior 2. So those comparative and superlative deal with when you're comparing two things, that is comparative, and when you're comparing 3 or more, you use superlative. Okay, so in the chat, Aquilina says happy, happier, happiest, correct. Sandra says good, better, best. Thank you. Elizabeth says small, smaller, smallest. Okay. Queen Elizabeth says big, bigger, biggest. And finally, MK says handsome, more handsome, and most handsome. Thank you. So of these adjectives, as you have seen how adjectives end, we talked about I-B-L-O-E, A-B-L-O-E, I-S-H, O-U-S, all those. So when you read these adjectives, you see the rule exists. For example, the first adorable, we have A-B-L-O-E. The second adventurous, you have O-U-S. Third agreeable, you have A-B-L-O-E. Celine says small, smaller, smallest in the chat. Thank you. So next slide, teacher. Yes, thank you. So here we have order of adjectives. So when you're writing a sentence that has 2, 3, 4, 5 or more adjectives, how do you arrange them? So in order, this is the order. So the first adjective should be opinion. So in opinion, we have amazing, fantastic, wonderful, awful. So opinion is what you think something is. What you think, how does something look? That is your opinion. According to you, how do you see? You can see someone as being beautiful, whereas another person sees that person as being ugly. So when you're dealing with that, you first deal with opinion. Then after opinion, you add a size. So in size, we have length and height. That, for example, small, big, tall, short, long, huge, fat, amorphous. So those ones are adjectives that show size. Then the next we have physical quality, physical appearance. How does something look like? It is thick, it is thin, it is smooth, it is sharp, hard, soft. So that is the third when you are arranging. The fourth is edge. The fifth is shape. Number 6 is color. Number 7, origin. Number 8 is material. Number 9 is purpose. So there are some, I had someone, they had created an acronym. They said, is it NOPSHACOM? Number, opinion, size, shop, that I don't remember very well, but they used to say NOPSHACOM. So when you're arranging adjectives, there must be an order. Let's say we have Peter, that is being announced. Then we have the following adjectives. We have short, we have slender, we have handsome, we have Ugandan, we have young, we have boy. So when you start with that, you see where each of the adjectives belong, then you follow the order and arrange them. And I'm sure one of the questions that do not miss in your name is arrange the adjectives in the sentence as required. So this you must master it because these adjectives, they follow a given order. Like the example I gave up, where we had 3 adjectives. We had young, we have beautiful, French lady. So young is age, beautiful is how the person looks, then French is nationality or origin. Okay, we go next slide. Okay, so in the chat, Pasco said short, shorter, shortest, correct. So finally, we have the comparative and superlative. This I've just talked about it. Superlative and comparative. We have fast as an adjective. When you're comparing two cars, you say one is faster than the other. And when you're comparing three or more, you say the blue car is the fastest of all the cars in the rally. So the fastest, it means you're comparing three or more. We have high, higher, highest. So A level is high because you're comparing A level and O level. Of the two education levels, A level and O level, which one is higher? So the word higher is comparing two. Then you say in the Ugandan education system, which one is the highest level? You say that is maybe a degree or master's or PhD. So those are, you're comparing three or more items. Strong, stronger, strongest. We have Peter, we have Simon, we have John. So when you say we are comparing Peter and John, you say John is stronger than Peter. But when you say comparing the three, Peter, John, and Simon, you say Simon is the strongest of all. We have tall, taller, tallest. That one explained. Long, longer, longest. Let's say we are comparing trees. You said the first tree is longer than the second. Then you said the third tree is the longest of the three. Okay, happy, happier, happiest. We have Elizabeth, we have Jane, and we have Rebecca. So you can say Rebecca is happier than Jane. But you can also say Mary is the happiest of the three. In the chat, beautiful Ugandan lady. Yes, that is correct. Short, shorter, shortest. That is correct. Okay, next slide, teacher. And finally, the last slide, describe adjectives that are used to describe a person. Adjectives, we have different adjectives. We have adjectives that describe taste. We have adjectives that describe feeling. We have adjectives that describe physical appearance of something, but here we are dealing with the adjective that describe the physical appearance of a person. How does a person appear? We have personality. Personality, those are the characters of the person, the behaviors of a person. We have example of these adjectives. Peter is a wise boy. Mary is a chatty girl. John is a hardworking man. For hardworking, the opposite is industrious. So ladies, the ladies, when you are saying a lady, you don't say Mary, a woman is hardworking. No, you say a woman is industrious. So Mary is industrious. We go to quiet. Isaac is quiet. Okay, is rather Isaac is a quiet boy. Then mean. Peter can tend to be mean. Okay, we have friendly, we have generous. Style. How does someone put on or take himself to be? We have comfortable, we have timeless, trendy, figure hanging, professional, bold, gully, maybe childish. Okay, all those. Then we go to nationality or ethic and background. We have black, Caucasian, we have colored, we have dual heritage, full blonded, multiracial, and the others. We have physical appearance. How does someone, the way, the outlook, the physical outlook of the person. We have tall, short, skinny, slim, overweight, bald, straight head, and the others. Then, and finally, characteristics and traits. We have a brave, stubborn, he's loyal, she's gullible, he is selfish, he is self-confident, and finally, respectful. Okay, in the chat, short, beautiful. Okay, we have Anna. Good evening to you. Okay, Sandra, it is a black wooden door. Black is color, the look, and the wooden is material. Yes, black wooden door, it is okay. So, teacher, is there any other slide? Is that not the last? Okay, so finally, I thank you for the good time and the active participation, and God bless you. Maybe for 2 or 3 minutes, I can entertain questions. Anybody with a question, please raise it and we address it. In the chat, Pasco says she is a black Kenyan girl. Yeah, black is color. Then Kenyan is nationality. Thank you. He is taller than us all. Elizabeth, that is very correct. Here you are dealing with the superlative. She's taller. She's taller than us all. No, here she's the tallest of us all. Here she becomes here, unless you are comparing her and you as you plural as a group. That's when you say she is taller than us all. So us becomes it is plural, yes, but it becomes a general or a group. So you're comparing one person, she, and the group, us. So there they are still two. Don't get confused. So, but when you're saying the men of you, maybe Peter is taller than Mary, and rather she is taller than Jane and Vanessa. So that one becomes a different thing than here. So the us here becomes a single group. So it is counted as one. Queen Elizabeth says it is brown. It is a brown plastic chair. Brown is color, yes, and plastic is material. That is correct. So color becomes before material. And Pasco says some girls in Uganda are short. Some girls in Uganda are short. Yes, that is true. Some of them are short, but here we're using one adjective that is short to describe. Some is an adjective, but is a pronoun rather replacing, giving replacing the noun that is supposed to be there. So some and any, those are pronouns. So somebody, someone, anyone, anybody, those are pronouns. So here short is describing the sum. Okay. Mark MK says she is happier than me. Okay, that is correct. Here you are dealing with the comparative. You are comparing two things. Okay, so that being said and noted, I wish to end my lesson from here, and I request that God keeps you safe and alive. Be blessed. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye. She's smarter than Helen. Yes. Queen, bye. Teacher, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Kakuba. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. You too, brother.